everybody, welcome back. I know I said at the end of the last video that I'm dressed the same because I shot these back to back. I really didn't want to change because I wanted to wear this shawl so much. This is one of my favorite citron shawls. Now, I've knit citron now 3 times. I've knit it in my Spira shawl, I've knit it in this, and I've knit it in the rainbow, which I'm thinking of wearing fairly soon, but I want to wear it with my black sundress. It's not quite warm enough for that yet. I actually have knit it more than that because I believe I made a version of this for a friend as well in a different color. So this yarn, I feel like this made some sort of appearance before because I feel like I've talked about this before. This yarn was yarn that my friend Makelyn found at I believe it was like this garage sale thing that happens out by her. And it's mystery yarn. It feels like it's a type of superwash wool. The texture feels like superwash wool. I never thought to do a burn test, and I don't think I have any more of it left. I think I used up the last of it. I might have just the tiniest bit of it for mending, and I don't want to waste it in case I do need to mend this because this is one of my favorite shawls. This is perfect when movie theaters open back up. This shawl is the perfect movie theater shawl because it's just warm enough if I'm wearing a sundress to keep my shoulders and my neck area warm, and it still lets me grab onto Joe if something, something exciting is happening. So today I'm going to be opening my KnitCrate March subscription. I really wanted to compare it to Yarnbox because I loved Yarnbox so much. I'm very sad that they're no longer a company. I really loved the patterns that they gave me with their yarn. I loved the choices that they made with my color preferences. They did give you a little more power because instead of choosing color families like KnitCrate does, Yarnbox would just let me say what colors I don't like, which aren't a lot. At the time, I did not like anything orange, and I just bought that stuff from KnitCrate that's orange. I think I might get a little bit more of it because I want to do a tunic length top with it. But anyway, I have not worked with the interlock yet, but I am going to do that as part of my swatching that I plan on doing that I mentioned before. Let's open it up. Okay, I'm already happy. Wait till you guys see the beautiful yarn. But first we're going to be talking about the theme. So KnitCrate always has a monthly theme, and this month's theme is heartstrings. So membership sock crate. It's Autumn Wool's Dreamy Sock. It's superwash BFL wool. It's Blueface Leicester if you don't know. 20% alpaca, 20% nylon. Oh my gosh. Alpaca on my feet. I don't usually get a lot of alpaca to put on any of my high traffic areas because I'm very afraid that it's going to wear down because I feel like alpaca is a much more delicate yarn. But now that I think of it, alpaca has a very long, what is it called? Tack. So usually if alpaca is being spun into something like a sock yarn, if it's being tightly spun like sock yarn tends to be rather, it is going to make a fairly strong yarn in my opinion. So I am excited to have some alpaca for my feet next winter. As I get older, I'm noticing, because normally I'm the type of person, I don't wear socks. As soon as the snow is off the ground, I don't wear shoes that require socks. I don't wear socks unless I'm exercising. So for me to have a ton of hand knit socks didn't seem very feasible, but as I get older, I more and more have been knitting socks. So my next video actually is going to be me going through the yarn that I just bought at my favorite yarn store. And I did buy some really pretty sock yarn I can't wait to share. And then I might even do a whole video of the socks that I've knit. And I'm going to knit a few more as well. So I'm really into socks right now. This is the Audine Wool's Dreamy Sock. And the texture of this yarn, you guys. This texture, it is so creamy soft to my hands. You know how alpaca compared to wool, alpaca has a very cool feeling when you're holding it. That is the feeling I'm getting right now, is that alpaca cool feeling, but it's still got that superwash wool sort of, that superwash wool strength to it, I guess is the way I want to put it. There are like little tiny halos of fiber coming off of it, which is, I believe, just the alpaca. But there's also a bit of nylon in here too. So the nylon, I believe, is going to make up for my worries about alpaca not being quite strong enough. and I think this is gonna be a really great sock yarn. Now, I would like you guys to comment this time if I should do a cabled or a lace sock pattern with this yarn. So cabled, I feel like this yarn would really make those textures pop. Lace, I really think this color would look so great with lace. So I am in love. I think it's gorgeous. I think this is some of the nicest sock yarn I've seen come from one of these. The yarn box socks that I had gotten in the past, they've all been really good. I did like the yarn a lot, but they all kind of had this very similar sort of kettle dyed tonal feel to them, and I am loving a nice solid one, especially when you guys see in my next video the sock yarn that I bought. So let's talk socks. I have several socks that I want to knit this year, and I'm kind of getting back into knitting socks. I burned myself out a little bit in 2016. I knit 5 pairs of socks over the summer, and I love every single one of them, and I wear them all winter long. Unless I'm going somewhere that's really messy, really dirty, and I don't want to wear my socks, I wear them all winter long. They fit nicely in my boots. I knit them when I was pregnant, and so that my feet were a little more swollen, and so I would knit them and then I would try them on in different shoes, and a lot of the times they were a little bit too tight, which told me that when my pregnancy ended that I would be able to, you know, put them back on and wear them inside my shoes. So, and I can. There's a couple of pairs of shoes I need to get a nice insole though for, because knitting, the hand knit socks have a very different texture on your feet than socks that are manufactured. And that texture can be kind of off-putting to some people. So, it's because of the stitches. The stitches are much larger than a sock that's created through interlock machines or however they do it in the manufacturing process. So, I want to start real quick with talking about some of the sock yarn that I have that I've talked about in the past, I've shown off in the past, and the types of patterns that I think I want to do with them. This whole box here is sock yarn. This whole section, it's all sock yarn. Not all of it's going to be used for socks, but it is all sock weight. So just FYI. And I do have a lot more sock yarn than this. This is my business yarn. This is stuff I've either talked about on the show or I bought for something I wanted to do for the show. So let's start with this one because I honestly don't remember what it is. I've had it for that long. I know, like, it's sad. I know. My yarn goes so unused. This is obviously some Knit Picks. This is Knit Picks Stroll. Oh no, it's Hawthorne Fingering. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne. When I was doing my So Faded sweater, I needed to fill out my Knit Picks order and I just needed like one more ball of yarn. I was like, you know what? I'm making a sweater out of Hawthorne. I'm going to make some socks out of Hawthorne. So this is another one of those tonal yarns that I think lend themselves really well to both cable and lace. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the stuff that I got today from Audine Wools from the KnitCrate. I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with that, and then I'm going to make a count because I know what I'm going to do with the other yarn I'm about to show you, and I know what I'm going to do with the yarn that's going to be in the next video. So I'm going to do a count, and I'm going to see what I have. What I have as far as vanilla socks, lace socks, and cabled socks, and I kind of want them to be fairly evenly split. Now, I know vanilla socks are kind of boring, but they're also very easy to knit and very easy to wear. I don't like wearing some of my very pretty cabled and lace socks. I don't like wearing them if I'm just going out and I'm going to have my shoes on all day. I don't like that. I feel like it doesn't look great. When we went shoe shopping the other day, I even spent some time thinking, okay, what can I do to show off my socks better? And I was looking a lot at shoes that had things like cutouts in them and that were low on my ankle, but I ended up just getting some athletic shoes because both my pairs of walking shoes are wearing out and one pair of running shoes rather. Both of my pairs of walking shoes and my one pair of running shoes are all getting quite old. One of my walking shoes, I've worn a hole in the sole because I go for a lot of walks. So I might even today. It's so nice outside. I might also work in the garden. Can you guys please let me know in the comments as well, not only what you want me to do with the Audine Wool's Calm sock, Dream socks. Yeah, Dreamy sock. Don't on top of letting me know what you guys want me to do with that Dreamy sock, if you want me to do a cabled or a lace sock pattern, because I want to do texture with that. I don't want to do a vanilla sock with that. Also let me know if you want to see some of my garden videos. I can make some videos. Well, I haven't made them yet, but I can make some videos of us doing the garden. We have a pop-up greenhouse that we put up in our backyard, and a little back garden that doesn't get quite as much sun. That's where some of our herbs are going to go that don't need as much sun. And then we have to put in a raised bed and do some weeding around our patio and all that stuff. Like, you know, we just bought our house last year. Let me know if you'd like to see some of those videos. I can start recording them. So the other two yarns I'm going to talk about are ones that I bought way back in the day. I want to say it's like 2 years ago. I was at Unique Knits. Was it Unique? Yeah, I was at, I believe it's Unique. It's the one that's in Royal Oak, and it's like downstairs. So Michiganders, hi. And they were having their sale. They usually have a pretty big sale around March and around September. Works out great because March is my birthday, and so it's really easy for me to find some really good deals and things that I really liked. And so I was really getting into Roy G. Biv. And so this is from Round Mountain Fibers. It's I believe inspired by nature is like their whole tagline for their whole business. This is superwash merino it's from the Ornithology Club, and the colorway is golden tailed sapphire. It's a type of bird, and I fell in love with it. Now this is going to be vanilla socks, and the reason this is going to be vanilla socks is I want the color to be the important part. I want the color to be what you're seeing when you see these socks. I don't care about showing off some sort of detailed pattern in these because it'll get lost in the color. I'm not putting in the extra work to have something detailed when this is going to be gorgeous as just a pair of socks. So I can't wait to knit with this. This is probably the first one I'm going to knit with. And so there's 2 pairs of socks I'm going to be making between now and I want to say the end of October. So yeah, it was Unique Knits, by the way. I found the tag. So this is Knitted Wit fingering in bold mold. And I fell in love with these colors. I fell in love with the way that they're kind of separated amongst the yarn. I know that when I knit with a yarn that had a lot of major color on one side and then was not a lot of colors down the rest of the yarn, it turned out so pretty. I'll show it off soon. I'm going to do a whole video of just like a lookbook, which I started, but I'm having a lot of trouble editing it. And now that I have this new phone, I want to do the lookbook with the new camera. So I'm sorry the lookbook's taking so long, but I promise it'll be worth it. Lots of very pretty hand knits. Anyway, I will show off that hat. It's one of them that I got from my Etsy haul. Please go back and check out my Etsy haul. I'm not sure how many of them are still doing yarn. I could look it up. But if any of them are still doing yarn, please go buy from them. They were all really great. Even the one who had some delays in shipping. Why did I say it like that? Delays in shipping. Even the one who had some delays in shipping, she was still very kind. She sent me a little sample, like one of those, you know, little unicorn tail or whatever they're called. Madeline Tosh does it sometimes. It's like a little bit of yarn. It was just enough for me to do some mitts, like some of my little mitts. So she even sent me that for free as an apology for it taking so long. And so please go support some of the Etsy people that I talked about in that video, and let me know as well as all the other things I've asked you to tell me in the comments. Let me know if you want me to do another Etsy haul because I would love to. Anyway, so this is going to be another set where I'm going to do a vanilla sock. And I know, so boring, right? Because the other ones that I'm going to talk about in my next video, also vanilla sock. Anyway, point is, I've gotten really into letting the yarn speak for itself. Plus, I have a ton of sock yarn just floating around in my personal stash, my non-business stash, that I want to make socks out of. I have so many balls of sock yarn. It's ridiculous. And although there's sweaters I could knit, like lots of sweaters that do like color work and beautiful things like that, that's not what I want to do with them. So anyway, more vanilla socks with this. This one I've got two hanks of it, but it's black. I don't need to show both. I bought this one with the specific purpose of having just some black socks because I've never knit myself plain black socks. I do have some like off-white socks, but they've gotten um stains on them, and it's like pink stains. So it's like dye. I got some sort of dye on them, and it wasn't from when I had pink hair because this happened a long time ago. It's when I wasn't dyeing my hair. So I don't know why my owl socks have pink dye on them. I can show you guys in my lookbook. I'll show you some of my old socks that I have that I've had for a long time and like how well worn they are. So I think that might be all for today because I am going to do another video very soon talking about yarn that I bought at my favorite yarn store. And then also the lookbook is coming up, so please, please, please stay tuned. I guess if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications. If you, I mean, I'm sure you're not getting like, unless you hit the bell, you won't get notifications about me because I'm such a small user. But yeah, just keep watching. I have a lot of fun doing this. This is very therapeutic for me. Even sitting and editing them, even though it can be kind of frustrating, is very therapeutic for me. I've been spending a lot of time learning about editing. I can't wait to kind of show off some of my new editing skills. And so I will talk to you guys soon. I cannot wait to show off the yarn that I bought at City Knits, which is my favorite knitting store. Until then, you can find me as Be My Full Moon on everything except for Ravelry and Twitter, where I'm Aorai. That's Aurai. I had my Ravelry way before I created the Be My Full Moon account, so that's why that's there. And I so look forward to sharing some more yarn with you guys. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye.